This is it. We are live after 2 weeks of fucking hiatus. We're
Yep.
back. This is the quick and dirty. I was about to say Saturday afternoon podcast. What the?
Your camera. Check your camera. Your camera.
Oh man, I was
There
this
you go.
close of saying something stupid. So yeah, this is a quick and dirty. Your source of information for dummies in a hurry. How are you doing, man?
Not too bad yourself.
Not so bad. Also, what have you been doing in the past 2 weeks?
Fighting an inflamed lower back. I had to go get physiotherapy to take care of it. So I've had that. Just working hard. Managed to get a couple of extra days off. Paid. So I was able to take the day off yesterday. Spend it with my lovely girlfriend Melanie.
Cool.
As well as being at your first open mic Thursday night, which was absolutely incredible. I
paid him to say that, by the way. No, I'm kidding.
No. What I loved about the Dirty Four open mic was we were in Ayers Rock pub, and when I was sitting right next to, like, on the first floor. If you're on the first floor, just above the main bar, you see a massive alligator that's suspended up on top. I'm like, do I have to call the TVA? Is this another variant of Loki that I have to take care of here? Like, it was just hilarious seeing the alligator suspended like that.
No, this bar is quite awesome and absurd at the same time, because it's like an Australian theme pub, which is kind of fucking random when you think about it. Like, of all the place you can do a pub theme about, it's fucking Australia. And like their notion of Australia is basically a giant fucking plastic alligator and a giant fucking shark like yelling.
True, there's on the other side. Yeah.
There's a kangaroo too on the other side. That's true. With Australian flags there and there. It's outside of that, it's pretty much your average pub. It's a really cool pub though. The ambience is really good. It's really awesome. You see that they put a lot of effort, like, to put you in the right ambience. That's pretty cool. So we're on the first floor. There's a stage. We're gonna try another configuration because we figured that with the sound thing that wasn't being optimal. We're still like trying to figure that out, like how we'll place the people and everything. But I'm really glad that you enjoyed it, by the way.
No, I did. Again, I was with my lovely girlfriend there. I saw a few folks. Like, I got to see, like, like some of your past guests, like AC Valiente. Like, it was cool to meet him. I got to meet Gabriel Omasi, whose bit I particularly enjoyed because he had a couple of jokes about growing up as a Greek household. So I appreciated the fact is like, hey, Nico, it's like, you can confirm this. I'm like, yeah, I completely get it. Like, it was that rough. It was that rough an upbringing, you know.
Is that so rough an upbringing being Greek?
No, not so much rough. It's just like it could get a bit cheesy and like overly dramatic from time to time. So
very
like
dramatic. I get it. Because I start because since I'm from Bicabo, it's white as fuck, and there's not a lot of Greek and Italian. So I'm all learning that right now because I've been around with the Anglo community for a while, for at least a year since I started comedy. And I'm starting to see like the only dramatic side of like the Italians and the Greeks. So I'm like, oh, that's fucking good. Like, these guys grew up in these environments. That's hilarious.
No, I liked it. Like, of course, Andrew Cardassi was just absolute. Like, he was dropping nuclear bombs with every single one of his jokes. Kyle Morin as well was pretty hilarious. Like, everyone was pretty good. And also,
we had a pretty cool lineup.
And plus, before and after the fact, like, I finally made it to Esports Central, which is not which wasn't far away. Like, I had an incredible time. I had a good meal. I got to meet up with Trax there from the Jofo Podcast. So, like, it was nice to see him there. I felt at home there. So, like, it's going to be like a base for me if ever I need to just get away from it all downtown. So I had a really good time last couple of days.
All right, so just before we start for real this time, let's just do some promos. So this Monday, there won't be any 34. It's so stupid. We thought about like moving it on Monday because we wanted to do it live, and we figured like if we cannot, like, we just won't do it. Like, because we kind of realize how much you fucking hate the whole premiering thing. So for now, we're just gonna do live or nothing. So basically, what's happening Monday, it's nothing because all of us is gonna be out. And I know that Nikos really wants to replace some 34 when they're not around. But the thing is, he cannot do the four of us by himself. That'd be fucking
And
insane.
also, sorry, folks, but as well, working from home. Like I finish work at 8:30 on Mondays, like
Yeah.
every other day from Monday to Friday. So my work schedule can't permit it. So as much as I would love to talk about my views and my experience playing like Pokemon and Final Fantasy, and talking
Yeah.
about like my weird tangents about like what's happening in the House of Representatives or the Senate, and
Don't
stuff like
forget,
what's going on. Like no,
Don't
I
forget, it's
can't.
right before the Jofos. Can you imagine? You have like the Jofos crowd tuning in just to see, okay, what I'm gonna kill time before the Jofos, and all they hear is like Nico's talking about Pokemon for 2 years, 2 hours. Like
No,
it's
no,
gonna
no,
be,
no,
it's
no,
gonna
no.
be quite interesting and sad on the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Also, another announcement. We have like Nico's just talked about. We started as a last Thursday. Our 34 open mic. Now it's not going to be at St. Paul pub. I just forgot to get back at them. That's pretty much on me. I'll try to get back at them so we have two rooms instead of just one. The one we're having right now is on Crescent Street. For now, it is the best bilingual show on Crescent Street ever, period. It is a bilingual show hosted on rotation by us, the 34. Next week is gonna be me, so don't miss it. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be awesome because I've booked the lineup myself and made sure that for my show I'm getting all the good comedian. I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. It's gonna be a good balance of comedians. Please make sure to have enough alcohol so you at least you enjoy the whole night because it's an open mic. I'm charging $5. It's a 50-50 chance at best. So don't take chance. Drink alcohol, get high before, and you're gonna enjoy a fucking great night. And it's not too far from the Geek Bar.
Or Esports Central.
Esports Central, that's how it's called. Yeah, where you can meet the actual Jofos mofos and the actual Jofos people. So there you go. And they're working, so you can see them being productive for society. Which kind of productive for society.
No.
All right. So let's get this. Oh, before we get started, we have a report from Perth, Australia. She's actually mentioning it's 2:32 on a
Go to bed.
2:32 Sunday. Oh yeah, because it's okay. Yeah. I'm such a retard. Yeah. It's 2:32. By the time she posted it in Australia, there you go. You have it. And let's start this fucking thing. So you wanted to talk, I think, about that new platforms that Tulsi Gabbard's putting together.
Not Tulsi.
All different. Not Tulsi, but she's part of.
Yeah. So what
is
I discovered,
or is it part of? Is it kind of a?
No. So what I saw recently was Dave Rubin from the Rubin Report, who, by the way, way back in the day was a part of the Young Turks network before he became independent, and then he joined up with the folks at the Blaze, where he had like Steven Crowder, the Change My Mind guy. He helped start a new platform called Locals, which is like it's a tech platform. You could download the app on your phone, or you could just join up on their website, and you have. It's a type of platform where it's like the anti, Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, where there's no real tech censorship, there's no real algorithms. Like the only thing that they will do in terms of censorship or moderation is, of course, if someone posts something that advocates direct violence towards an individual or a group of individuals. But so
basically, you're telling me that they're starting a platform where it's gonna be full freedom of speech, except if you say something criminal, like for example, you incite like a fucking riot or to burn and like that I did that a couple of times, but I'll think of that platform. I'll calm the fuck down. All right.
No, like my Tulsi Gabbard here, for example, the former presidential candidate in 2020 for the Democrats, and former congresswoman from Hawaii, is on that platform. Viva Frey, the Montreal litigator and YouTuber, with his partner Barnes, who, by the way, just to say this,
to be a politician.
Yeah, he's running with the people with the People's Party of Canada, like Maxime Bernier's new party in NDG Westmount is on it.
Or maybe not, considering the party.
Potentially, yes. Like he's on it. Lauren Chen, the young conservative commentator
Yeah.
who used to go by the name Roaming Millennial, is also
Mm.
on this platform as well. Just give me one
The
second
one,
here.
the one that kind of fucked me up though is that North Korean defectors that is starting to make her name for herself. Like, why can't she be on YouTube?
Yomni Park. So
Yummy Park,
Yomni
yeah,
Park was a defector from North Korea who's of course making waves, like criticizing not just North Korea's totalitarian system,
yeah.
but as well like sort of criticizing this authoritarian creep that we're seeing across the world. So like
That's why.
she's
Okay.
on it. Yeah, that she's on that as well. And another person that I follow a lot is this rapper who's originally from Nigeria,
Zubi.
Zubi, who grew up in Saudi Arabia of all places, moved to the UK, though has
Yeah.
that American spirit, is also on locals as well. Of course, there are subscriptions, so you have to pay like once a month, like $5-6 to gain access to their communities. But like you have direct access to Zuby, to Dave Rubin, to Lauren Chen, Tulsi Gabbard. You get to post stuff, you get to post photos. It's a nice. I think this has the potential to being the anti Facebook and the anti Twitter, which of course is steeped with like content moderation,
which
algorithms, and
which is
other
kind of
and like
normal considering that you're not paying to be on. Like, let's be honest. Like, if you
yeah,
are being like off put by the fact that you have to pay to be on that platform, you just have to think about that simple
yeah,
truth about every platform you'll ever use. Okay, it's either
yeah,
you pay for it and then you become a customer, or you're not paying for it and then you're the product. That's as
exactly,
simple as that. So
exactly,
if you don't want to get your data fucking mined, like the only way you can prevent that, or at least to hold them accountable in some ways, is if you're a customer. And to be a customer, you have to get money out of your fucking pocket. And
yeah,
and guess what, guys? Putting a website together, sending it over on a server and making sure that it works, it's not free. None of this shit is free. Okay, all the
yeah,
fucking cat picture you send over there, those fucking videos you send about the how much vax is gonna fuck you up, or so some stupid and boring shit you're posting all day. You have to realize it's being started somewhere on a
no,
server,
of course,
and it's got to be read by browsers and stuff, and that means
and
servers
apps
doing
too.
yeah, exactly. So that means server rolling like doing shit. So basically you have to realize that none of this shit is free. They have to pay for it in some ways, and it's either you choose to pay for a social network service, or you continue to have it for free and freeload, but you're the product. They're mining your
Yep.
data and they sell it to a third party, and they're
And getting advertised a lot on YouTube and Facebook and everywhere else. Like you, no, I get no.
yeah,
What you're saying makes logical sense. Like you need to balance. Like there's that
yeah,
balance. You have to look at the positives and the negatives of both.
yeah. There.
So like locals could in fact be the thing that could, like, there are more and more content creators. Like there are many
Yeah.
other creators that I don't know of personally. I'm just thinking of the creators like Tulsi, who I have a lot of respect for, and others like Dave Rubin. Like there's one thing to like bitch and complain. There's another for like Dave Rubin to actually set up this platform, like because
Yeah.
he used to be on Patreon. He
Yeah,
used
you
to he
understand
used
it
to
works. Yeah.
he understood that Patreon has its pitfalls, but now locals is like his way for him to make that extra money that he needs to pay for, the production staff, to
Just
pay
a quick
for.
question. Locals, is
Yeah.
it a replacement for Patreon, or is it like a YouTube, or is it like Twitter? How it works?
Well, from what I've understood, it's a bit of a mix. So like,
Okay.
locals is where again, like many of these content creators can fundraise, and they get like the vast, like, I of course, Patreon and other services would have to take a small cut for hosting and other stuff like that. Like that's to be understood. But they actually, like, once you're on that platform, from what I understand, like you have total control of your channel, of your community. Like locals isn't going to be overbearing in terms of like saying, no, you have to do this and that. Like, no, you have total control. Again, just with that small criminal caveat that we discussed beforehand.
Yeah, which fucking makes sense actually.
Well, it does.
Yeah. That should be the only rules when you go to these fucking things. It's like, Okay, are you planning to spread like criminal informations and stuff? No, okay, you're fine.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
because when you start to get into interpretations and all it might lead
No, you
to,
see,
or
scroll up a little. Scroll up a little if you don't mind. So
yeah,
you
yeah.
see, like, go down. No, go down a little.
What? Okay, connect with
Just
your favorite creators. Okay,
yeah, yeah.
cool.
So
Go
like
down.
scroll down. You're gonna see like the tiles. Like you see like who's on. Like Dr. Drew, Viva Frey, Dave Rubin, who set it up, Tulsi Gabbard. Like you get access
Michael
to many.
Malice. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and Greg Gutfeld, who I will admit is very funny on his show on Fox. Like, whenever I can catch a glimpse, I will because he's hilarious and makes good points on a few things. So, yeah,
That's interesting because when I've checked out a little bit powder, I was like, yeah, that looks like a fucking dumpster of like all the 4chan people that are just there to not for.
Locals is the better alternative because you
Yeah,
have
yeah,
to
that's
pay
what I
for
think.
access to those communities, and a lot of people
Hmm.
don't want to pay because they either can't afford it or they
Yeah.
don't want to pay because they want to be the freeloader.
So
Like
the
this is
low,
the better.
so the
Yeah,
low IQ fucking racist people are gonna stay on powders, and the rest of us can pay some what $5 per month, and you get like whole access to uncensored content by professional like broadcasters. Or
yeah.
can any average Joe can go on and just put their video there, or is it like you have to pay extra cash to send videos over there?
That I don't know. But
Okay.
again, the fact that, for example, if let's say I do pay, I can actually talk directly to Tulsi Gabbard, who is my personal role model.
Mm.
If
Yeah,
ever
yeah.
I may, like, I can ask her direct questions about how did you feel when like this very like what happened during the coronavirus pandemic,
Mm.
like how like when you let's say like because she was serving alongside AOC herself, like
Mm.
how did you find AOC as like a rising star in the Democratic Party, or how like I can actually ask her those direct questions, or how did like I can ask Tulsi Gabbard again um after 9/11, like when you signed up to serve in the army and the Hawaii National Guard, like I can ask her like what really happened in Iraq because she served in Iraq. So it's like I can actually ask her those questions so that
21 years old Tulsi Gabbard. I'm going to kill toilets. I'm going to kill those N words. No, I'm kidding.
no
No, obviously, she wasn't thinking like that. But
no
that
no
would be quite something if that's
no
what popped her in her head. And she's like, no
no no
sense of
no
you duty. I
yeah
want to protect my country.
no of course. So do you want to go to the next thing?
Yeah, next thing. So the talk of the town right now, it's but for a while, I don't think it's. I think it's kind of died off, and for good for that. It's the Logan Mayo affair, like
Yep.
that hockey player that has been drafted by the Montreal Canadiens as their first pick. Just to as a mise en contexte, Logan Mayo is a player that has been expected to be drafted around 15, 20 to 20 total over pick, but nobody picked him because one of the reason is because he had sexual intercourse with his girlfriend. There's nothing wrong with that, but where it's getting wrong is he took a picture of her without telling her, and then after
hmm
that he went to show that to his friends.
hmm
So now he's playing in Sweden, and he's being investigated and prosecuted for privacy invasion or some non-respect of somebody else's private life. So
hmm
and now that you have like those NHL's team that doesn't want to touch him, except for the Montreal Canadiens, because being 31 to draft and being able to get somebody that was expected to get out at 15, 20th position, it's quite of a deal. But he almost lost a couple of sponsors out of it. So if you want to add a little bit about it.
Well, the only thing that I do know, because I'm not that
Yeah.
familiar with sports and all of the information coming out of that side of things, like I do know that St. Hubert apparently wanted to pull their sponsorship of the Montreal Canadiens and any advertisements
Yeah.
that they had at the Bell Center downtown at Lucien Lallier. But I mean, they sort of called that off after they've recognized that like the Montreal Canadiens did what they felt was good damage control on that issue, and obviously, like even many public officials, like Prime Minister Justin Trudeau,
Yeah.
like expressed his disappointment over the draft pick as well. So,
Yeah, that's
I mean,
something quite fucked up when you have like the prime minister of the fucking country that start commenting on like who's getting picked by the Montreal Canadiens and who's not getting picked by the Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah.
It's it's pretty fucked. It also like the thing that kind of fuck with me is because I understand why people will treat it like that, but you hear like media from Montreal calling him a sexual criminal or something like that,
Hmm.
and although that the situation he was fucking his girlfriend, and then he took a picture, I could understand why it is kind of considered as a sexual crime. You have to realize also that you can be 100% right on calling it a sexual crime, but be wrong because in the way you portray it, like you have to realize that in people's head, when you say sexual criminal, in people's head, they imagine a fucking rapist.
Hmm.
So basically, and that's kind
It's
of funny because I talked to some of my friends, and a lot of them are like staunch Canadian Montreal fans. So they're like, yeah, sure. Because the thing that happened is the kid didn't want it to be picked by any teams because he was like, no, I don't want my entry to the NHL being fucked by a stupid mistake or lack of judgment, a momentary lack of judgment, you know. So he was like, no, don't draft me this year, and I'm coming back next year. But the thing is, the way it works in the NHL is you have a list of player, and if they're on the list or they available, anybody can pick him, basically,
hmm.
even though if they don't want to be picked. So and also it's just the way I understand it is just like protecting your right to be the only team that can deal with that player.
Hmm.
So basically that doesn't force him to come to the training camp. That doesn't force him to play for the Montreal Canadian. That doesn't even force him to sign for the Montreal Canadian. He could be like drafted by the NHL and just go around and play for the KHL if he wants.
No, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
That
I
actually
guess.
happened.
Oh, well, that's good. Again, I'm not. I will not claim that I am knowledgeable on stuff pertaining to the sports to sports like hockey or football or stuff like that. So I defer to your experience and your
Yeah.
understanding of that area.
Personally, I wouldn't have drafted the kid because he asked to not be drafted, and that's it. But like the
Hmm.
problem with these kind of debates is like you have the extra woke people that thinks you agree with them with for the right reason, but I agree with them for like you're right, but for the wrong reason. Meaning that you're right to not draft the guy, but not because he's a fucking rapist, because he's not. It's because
Hmm.
he just didn't want it to be drafted. So I would have respect his fucking will. I don't want, and also I feel bad for the kid. Like he had a lack of judgment. Now his NHL entry is gonna be fucked. That part I don't like it. So basically, that's why I would have drafted him because I would want the kid to be forgotten for at least a year and then came back and nobody talked about it. And
Yeah.
like there were a lot of people that had an opinion about Logan Mayu, and the thing that fucked with me with these guys is a lot of them are not hockey fans, so they will
Hmm.
never have heard about Logan Mayu before the whole thing blew up.
Hmm. No, that's understandable.
So yeah, and from the other side, you have those fuckheads that are just like all riders that just want to fuck with the wokes, and they will just call you woke if you say I would have fucking picked him. But the reason why I would have picked him is because he doesn't want to be picked, not because he's a you know.
Hmm.
So it's fucking the whole thing. That kind of shows like how the environment on the internet is fucking stupid, and people don't think anymore.
It's too heated. Like
Yeah,
more nuanced and measured thinking has to come back. Though again, like that's the unfortunate reality of our 24-hour news cycle. Like our shorter and shorter attention spans. When for example, seeing like a 20-second reel on Instagram is considered too long, or TikToks or whatever. So it's like
mm.
it's just we have to, like I know.
Yeah, I had my old teacher, United States history teacher, that got into trouble with a bunch of wokes, especially
Oh
kind
really?
of because of that. Yeah, because think about it, the guy is white as fuck. Okay, like he teach in Cégep in Quebec City, so it's there's minorities over there, but it's mostly white.
Hmm.
Um, like he teach over there and he's white, and being white and teaching about the history of the United States, there's a part of the history of the United States you have to teach, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there were one of our former student that went to him and said, "Oh, you cannot teach that because you're white." How fucking
Okay.
stupid! how fucking stupid it is. Like, okay, so who can talk about slavery then? Because
Oh
you have
boy.
to realize, like, racism, like, the thing, like, if you agree with the whole notion that there's a systemic racism, like, that means that there's a system that advantage white people, right? Those white people are advantage. They have to talk a little bit about racism if they want to fucking fix it, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
If we can't talk about it, I mean, there's no way we can fix it. So basically, we're just like, what? Put our head between our fucking legs and just being like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. We're not gonna fix anything by doing this.
No, for sure. No, you need to confront those harsh realities head on instead of just forgetting them or just choosing not to discuss them. So, like, no, I get it.
Yeah. It's like, but that's funny because the same guy was, you know, when they were, like, Starbucks that tried to write like anti-racist shit on their cup, and
Yeah.
they were like a controversy, and the guy was kind of the middle of the controversy, saying, "Yeah, with their practices, I understand why people are pissed." And I'm like, "What practices you're talking about?" And he could answer. It's like
But
what, but the point I was coming up with, it's like there's a lot. What is funny with the woke right now is there's a lot of Gen Xers and even older people that didn't really understood the movement that kind of went in at the beginning because that seemed to be the cool thing to do,
mhm.
and now they're getting their ass kicked by these fucking kids, and now they're switching their tune. So that's kind of interesting. I sent them a gif of Frankenstein with a smile, little wink of what I think about the guy. All right, let's talk about the last subject of this week. So this week, I think you wanted to us to touch a little bit about what
The
there's one
lottery.
last thing.
Yeah, the
Lottery,
lottery.
yeah. So since us, we're not getting the needle fast enough at the in the taste of the government in our harm. So basically, what they're thinking about is to make a lottery because apparently in Quebec, lottery is the thing to motivate us to get vaccinated to prevent, you know, flooding the fucking ICUs.
Well, to start this off, they are giving away a few $1 million, like Quebec like they're giving away $2 million worth of prizes to vaccinated residents. So they're giving away like to the tune of like I think 100,000 or 200,000 per lottery bid to folks who were able to get registered online. I've heard that they're also adding like you can get like miles that you can use for Aeroplan, like the Air Canada frequent flyer program. Like I've heard as well, and this is I think a bit outlandish for me. Like spending 2 hours in a private jet just being flown around places, which I find a bit weird. Like that's just a little weird. Like for those under 18, like like for those who get vaccinated that are under 18, like there are two $10,000 bursary prizes to be drawn as well for those who want to go to finish their schooling. In August, the Quebecers 18 and up who have received a dose and have entered can win up to four $1,500 prizes, which will be drawn every Friday. On September 1st, the grand prize of $1 million will be drawn for those 18 and up, with 16 $20,000 bursaries for those up for grabs between 12 and 17.
Well, wait, how much?
So on September 1st, the grand prize of $1 million will be drawn for those
Yeah.
18 and up, and those between 16 and up to 16, $20,000 bursaries will be up for grabs for 12 for those between 12 and 17. I mean, getting $20,000 to have money to pay for CEGEP and for university, that's pretty darn cool. That's pretty good.
$20,000. It's like a 1 year salary if you do minimum wage. So yeah, I would assume like if you receive that, it's gonna help you out with CEGEP if you don't live in Montreal or Quebec.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously they're trying to ramp this up as much as possible before the start of school. Before the start of school in September, because we all remember what happened last year when schools opened up, and we saw what
and there
happened
have
with the
been hinting that
explosion of
life is gonna be
like the
back to normal
protracted.
after. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. So to an extent, I get where they're getting that. But at the same time, it's like you should just be motivated. Like for sure, hey, if I won the $1 million, like I'm definitely chucking away a lot of that money in like my TFSA and RRSP that I set it up with my bank. I'm getting myself a Tesla, and like I'm definitely gonna get a. I'm definitely gonna do some redecorating here at home. That's for sure, and maybe
Yeah.
taking a month, maybe taking a couple of months off of work just so that I can like you know deal with any like burnout that I'm feeling right now on that front. But you should just get motivated to get the vaccine so that you're protecting yourself, you're protecting others, and that if you because this has to be specified and like this was clarified. Getting the vaccine doesn't mean you have a magical shield that completely removes anything.
No, you're
That
still
completely
fucking getting it. The idea
you're
is like the whole reason why we're doing it, like being stuck inside and everything, is to protect the healthcare system. They don't care if we all die of COVID-19. Even it's better if we die of COVID-19 because like that we're not taking a fucking bed.
no, that's
It's
for sure.
yeah,
No, no.
it's what they want to prevent is a bunch of fucking people getting hospitalized and taking a bed and equipments for themselves.
Well,
So that's why the vaccine is really that important. It's because you can get it, you can spread it, but nobody's gonna fuck like the people vaccinated. They won't get fucked by the virus. That's the whole point.
yeah, instead of like what happened to me like all of last August, like I had it for all of last August. Like if
Yeah,
let's say after my natural infection and the two shots, like I somehow, even though I'm working from home, somehow managed to catch it, but I'll be out, I'll be kind of out of it for a couple of days, but then I'll be fine after the fact. So,
yeah. You still have to
um,
do your groceries. You still have to go out. You still have, you know. So there's plenty of occasion. Even if you're really careful, there's plenty of occasion to get it.
no, for sure.
Yeah.
So I find like the price of like 2 hour like a 2 hour private jet ride just a bit weird. Like, come on, like Quebec, like
What?
that's from what I've heard. Um,
2 hours jet ride. That's the cheapest fucking. That's the cheapest fucking price you can get. two
no, like
hours.
no, like on a private jet.
Yeah, I know, but it's fucking stupid. Why give me the money instead? Don't give me the fucking ride. I'll deal with what to do in the fuck with that fucking money.
No, for sure.
Yeah, just give me the price of the fucking tickets and I'll do whatever.
No, no, for sure. Um, so yeah, that's what's happening on that front. And
Yeah.
I guess the last quick thing that I really wanted to bring up
Yes.
is we now have a new Governor General in office, Her Excellency the Right Honorable Mary Simon, who is our first Indigenous Governor General. She was sworn in earlier this week in the Senate chamber with Prime Minister Trudeau in attendance. Again, we all have to remember she's the first Governor General who is Indigenous. Like
Yeah.
in our past, the Governor General was either from the Anglo parts of Canada or from Quebec.
Yeah.
Of course, this pick was a little controversial for many of the what I like to call the linguistic nationalists in Quebec, in
And
that
outside.
she and outside who felt that because she didn't speak a word of French that she should be rendered ineligible because many of the top positions of government in Canada, like the Governor General, like the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, Clerk of the Privy Council, and many of the deputy, like many of those positions, like you have to be functionally bilingual in order to do your job. But the fact
Yeah.
that
You know how many
she,
people it is in Canada, people that can speak both languages?
I, I think 15 to 20% of the entire population is
17%. And I'm betting it's even less than that.
yeah.
Yeah, because there how many people you've met that say I'm bilingual, and then when you speak French, it's fucking horrible to listen to.
Well,
Yeah,
increasingly, I'm in that 17% because I've certainly gotten a lot better in French, though I still have
yeah,
a ways to go on a couple of things. But hey, I'm proud of myself for
yeah.
finally,
But if somebody asks you, are you Anglo or French or bilingual, you won't say I'm bilingual. You'll say I'm learning French. I'm Anglo learning French, but I'm not bilingual yet. You understand what I mean? Like, are you functional in French?
I am.
Okay, so I guess you're bilingual.
No, I'm functional. Like I can hold a conversation, no problem. I could
Oh,
read.
that's
I
perfect.
could
Then you're
read
bilingual.
like I could read it, no problem. If I find a word that I don't understand, hey, I mean, I have a French English dictionary at home that I could use, or I could just do a Google search, or like I could write in a basic to intermediary level. So I am bilingual. It's just
Oh, you
advanced.
are.
Not I'm not. It's just
Okay, yeah.
But
Yeah,
anyways, like,
okay, that's no, because sometimes I hear like somebody say I'm bilingual, and then he comes to me and try to say something in French. I'm like, I never said that in my life. Try to explain to me how I'm not speaking the right French, and I'm like, dude, you suck with your past participles and your gendering of names, so go fuck yourself. I'm gonna sit there and being told by somebody that say bonjour that I don't speak the right French. Get the fuck out, man.
mm-hmm.
All right, so let's close this fucking thing because we ran out of shit to say. As you know, every Saturday, same time, it is
Yep.
the quick and dirty. I was about against to say Saturday afternoon, but yes, what the fuck. Monday we're off because all the dirty four have shows. If you want to see Captain Yolo or Nicolas Pidiktakis, where can we
Uh,
find you?
just follow me on Instagram, Captain Yolo562. That's all.
There go. Perfect. Same for me. Captain YOLO 62. No, I'm kidding. It's Joey Laffle on Instagram. I think it's Joey Laflamme on Twitter. I'm pretty easy to find. Like I'm pretty much everywhere except fucking TikTok. I refuse to be on this shit.
Same.
Yeah, there you go. Like you see that is fucking cringy. Also, I have two shows Monday. It's gonna be the first one is gonna be at Early Irish Pub. I'm doing the world's smallest open mic, and right after you might see me run right after my set because I'm going right after at the Mickey Vince for Am I Right show, hosted by Ben Cardi Lee, and if I remember well, it's a Straight Outta Montreal show, and
Mm,
I am hosting this Thursday on the Ayers Rock Pub. I'm hosting for the Dirty Four bilingual show open mic, the best bilingual show on Crescent Street.
mm-hmm.
And I think that's pretty much it. So thank you, fuck you, bye.